What's up, y'all? So today we're gonna do something a little different. As of right now, I am still in the house. I'm getting a pretty late start, but figured I'll just show you guys how I kind of get my day started. Some days I start later than others. So like today, I don't have a lot of orders, maybe about 50 between all three platforms, which is perfect. Stayed up late. I watched that Steeler game and then I did some other stuff on the computer, so slept in. Plus, my daughter wasn't feeling good, so she stayed home, but she's going to be here with one of her older brothers, so I'm going to go get that done. Plan is just to show you guys pretty much how I get started as far as like going in, getting everything set up, shipping, going to the post office, what I probably do after that, maybe up to that point. How early I get up a lot of times is based on how many orders I got. So if I got a lot of orders, I get up earlier. However, I know on Fridays I have to, for whatever reason, there's no preschool. So nobody will be here. So then I have to have my daughter on Friday. So what I'm probably going to have to do is shipping at night on Thursday and then getting up super early on Friday morning to go back and ship whatever orders came in overnight. And then after that, bring those orders back to the house before everybody leaves and go out. And once she's up and going and everything, I'll take her with me to the post office, drop those off. And then I'll have some plan. Maybe I'll just kind of like, because won't nobody be here until about 2:30ish until then. So might be just a day that I kind of do some stuff in the house. Maybe me and her go do some stuff here and there sometimes. And I don't know, we'll see. And then later on, I'll just work. That might be a day that I work later at the storage unit and just stay there late. So sometimes that's just life, man. You kind of got to adjust, especially when you have children. And for those of you who don't know, I'll say it again. In total, we have 9 children. So it's a lot going on around here, man. And you got to make a lot of adjustments. Like 2 of the boys got football. So, you know, I got to stop in the middle of the day on my days to go pick them up. So it is what it is, man. But anyway, let's go. All right, so now I'm heading over there. It might get a little bumpy, so bear with me if the phone's shaking. For some reason, I can't do the anti-shake when it's like in this mode. It has to be facing the other way. But so one of the things I've been working on in my efforts to kind of constantly stay ahead of what's going on and evolve my business and I've been considering a few options. So I've been considering wholesale options, and what I mean by wholesale options is purchasing inventory to sell wholesale to other resellers or just selling boxes. There's some pretty nice stuff that I can get through B-Stock that I know will sell in lots. I just got to figure out if it's going to be worth it or not. But also, I've been really thinking about creating my own website and doing it that way and kind of integrating that with the wholesale aspect, plus just have some other stuff on there. But more specifically, what I've been considering is making a niche site. I don't know why I pulled up so close to this light. A really specific niche site. And what I mean by niche site is a pet. I want to get into pet items. I think I've been doing some research, checking out the market. I mean, pet stuff sells for the most part. If you can get it, the right items and at the right price, I think there's a lot of money to be made there. And so my focus would be dogs, because the pet industry, of course, is huge. So my focus would be dogs, not cats, not no other type of animal. My focus would be dogs. And so I would focus on pretty much any type of item in the dog category that would be profitable. So that means I would have to source, I would have to find new sources, I would have to find items that are profitable, so on and so forth. I've been looking at some stuff. I think I'm going to start testing it out. Now here's the thing I'm trying to figure out too, because a lot of the stuff that I see, either sometimes you can't sell it. They don't want you selling it. Some of these suppliers don't want you selling it on platforms. So like Amazon and Walmart and stuff. So I may have to make my own website, but then that involves me doing my own marketing and everything. I could put it on eBay, but I don't know. So this is what I'm trying to figure out. I'm coming up with this business plan, but I'm almost 100% sure that I'm going to focus, and I'm not getting away from everything else. This is something that I'm going to add because I want to see how far I can go with it and how well it does, and how much I can scale it, So what I'm going to do is probably kind of like start off really small. I'm going to target specific types of items that have a higher sell-through and a higher margin. I do think there's some areas that I can order items from places like Alibaba and stuff that have enough of a margin to do that, some items. But then there's also websites like Fair and some others. But then there's also some suppliers, because if you just do a search, you come up with, if you do a search like wholesale suppliers for pet items and so on and so forth, and you just do a bunch of different searches, you come up with a bunch of different results. And I know that once you get going and things like that, then you start finding other stuff and so on and so forth. So I do think that that's going to be one of my things that I start doing. I will kind of like document it as I go along. I don't have anything solid right now or nothing like that, but that's kind of like my idea of what I've been cooking in the kitchen. You know what I mean? I want to get away from as much as I can what everybody else is doing. I want to get away from what everybody else is doing. And even in the pet space on eBay, the pet space is super competitive, but if you sell the right items, you can make some money. And I even had a few pet items that I got in one of those 888 lots that I thought would be hard to sell, but actually they sold fairly easily at the right price point. What made me think like, okay, if I can get these same things cheap enough, this might be something here. So it's kind of where I'm at with that, but I don't want to keep this phone shaking, so I'll turn it back on when I get over to the unit. All right, so we are here. Get out. It is a beautiful day. It's supposed to be in the 60s today. I think my face is kind of black in the screen. I'm sorry. But anyway, I was looking at the trash can when I came in, because apparently, yes, people been dumping stuff in our trash can. And yeah, last few days there's been these like big wooden blocks, which prevent me from kind of cleaning up because they come on Tuesdays. But there was these wooden blocks in there yesterday. They was in there for a few days. There was somebody threw like a hot water tank in there and some other stuff, man. It's like, come on, y'all. But I'm gonna let y'all see what it looks like inside when I see it. I ain't gonna try to hide nothing. Let you see exactly what I see. All right, so light on. When you come in, this is exactly what you're gonna see. A whole ass mess. All right, y'all, so it looks worse than it really is, and the crazy thing is I got another pallet and a half coming either tomorrow or the next day, so I gotta get this stuff cleaned up. But look at this. Hey, if anybody's looking for candles, these will be up on my eBay site soon. Got a bunch of candles under there, but a lot of this is due to the fact that trash can was full. Look, yesterday was pretty busy. I had a bunch of orders. I was gonna make a video, but by the time I got done shipping and I did some eBay stuff and restock, so this is what it looks like coming in. It's usually cleaner than this, but it's not today, so I'm just gonna be straight up with y'all. This is the shipping area. Not as clean as I would like it to be, of course. At least I did restock yesterday. This is usually emptied, but it's not, and this is usually not as crazy as it is, but I couldn't throw some of this stuff away. But today I have to straighten all of this up, get ready for all of this inventory that's coming in, clean this stuff up over here and organize it. So that is part of the plan. my whole area over there is just it's just a hot mess, and I don't like it. I gotta figure it out. All of this stuff is a hot mess, man. But I'm just showing y'all, man, that I try to stay organized, but I'm not organized as much as I should be all the time. Okay. So usually what I would be doing is getting straight to shipping right now, but can't do that with a full trash box. And I can't because it's a box. So I'm going to take the trash out real quick, and then we'll kind of get started shipping. So let me take this trash out and I'll be right back. All right, we got that done. Usually, so let me give you guys a kind of like what I do as far as like breakfast and things like that. So my diet, I am a vegan. I don't think I ever said that in a video or not, but I am a vegan. A lot of people, when they see like how I'm bigger and stuff, they can't believe it. But I've been a vegan for, I want to say, going on 3.5 years now. Even before that, I only ate like certain types of meat, so I stopped eating like pork and beef way back in the early 2000s. And then I just totally changed my diet about 3.5 years ago. Me personally, I do it as a dietary choice. There's no ethical reasons. I'm not like an ethical vegan. I wear a leather belt. That's kind of not my thing. I'm not the person that's going to tell you, hey, you shouldn't eat this. Honestly, my opinion, when people talk to me and they ask me, because like I get a few questions, of course, they be like, well, how you so big and where you get your protein and all the, the normal stuff. A couple things I'll point out is, one, proteins are made up of amino acids. If you eat a well-balanced diet, you'll be fine there. As far as like, people think I just eat salads and stuff. And honestly, I don't really eat that much salad, man. I do eat a lot of beans, because different types of beans, but my diet is pretty like, I keep it simple and basic because that's how I am. But I eat a much more diverse array of foods than I used to when I did eat meat. And so when I did eat meat, it was basically chicken, turkey, or fish. Really didn't eat that much fish. Definitely didn't eat seafood. So it was mostly chicken and turkey, you know what I mean? But I didn't eat that much different stuff. So I eat more different types of veggies and fruits and things like that now. So it's actually better. Again, it's a dietary choice for me. When I talk to people, I tell them, look, do what's best for you, because what works for me may not work for you, okay? It works for me. What I always recommend is this: a 70-30-80-20 rule for your diet, right? 70 to 80% healthiest choices that you can, and then the other 20-30% live your life and enjoy life, right? I always recommend that not eat a bunch of meat. Don't eat a bunch of meat. I think if you eat too much meat, that can have bad consequences for you as you get older. But if you're going to eat meat, maybe a couple times a week or so, if you're one of those meat everyday people, maybe once a day. I don't think people should eat meat more than once a day, especially if you're not eating other things that have fiber and stuff like that. So if you're not eating any types of fruits, any types of veggies, and all you is just a meat and potatoes type of person, I mean, I get it, but it's going to come back to bite you, man. It's going to come back to bite you. You're going to have a lot of health issues later on down the line. But either way, I don't try to project my views on health and diet on people. I just say, hey, find something that works. 70-30, 80-20, eat what you like. Just do more good than bad stuff, and stay active and exercise. That's it. But me personally, I'm a vegan. In the mornings, I typically don't eat breakfast. I intermittent fast until like afternoon, maybe late afternoon. But even when I do, it'll be something light. So it'll be like oatmeal mixed with like maybe like a nut mix, some peanut butter, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I might eat a bagel with some peanut butter and jelly on it. I don't know. It'll be something light though. I don't like getting started off all sluggish. Usually my breakfast is coffee, but I can't get my day. I don't know how people start off their day with like bacon and eggs type stuff. You know what I mean? Like, man, you putting yourself behind the 8 ball doing that. But throughout the day, I probably eat minimum 2 times a day. Some days once, but it's going to be on purpose, and I might eat smaller things. But it really, at this point, my body's kind of used to it. And trust me when I tell you, there is a lot of stuff out there that you can eat as a vegan. There's no limit to what you can eat if you just get creative. It was rough in the first year because I had to learn how to cook over and do everything a different way. But after that, it was kind of cool, man. And so I'm just kind of rolling with it, you know, just kind of rolling with it. So anyway, sometimes I'll come in, I might make some oatmeal or whatever, and sometimes I don't, but I don't really eat nothing too heavy, okay? That's that. Now, shipping wise, today, like I said earlier, is going to be an easier day because when I checked when I got up, I only had about, let me fix this. I checked when I got up, I only had about a total of 50 orders. So now yesterday, Monday, didn't end up being that bad coming off the weekend. eBay got better than it started off because I know I had posted some things in my community tab about it. It got better, but it wasn't like super great for me. I won't say it was great, but it got better than I thought it was. Because, man, it was going down, man, like the Hindenburg for real. But it got a little bit better. But total, I had about 90 orders. I want to say, let me see. So about 10 of them ended up being on eBay, which is kind of low. It still wasn't great. I usually do more than that, especially when I run a sale through the weekends. Usually I can come off the weekend after running a sale with like 20 plus orders. So that's about half of what I would usually do. I will say this, the type of orders I had was higher dollar items and multi-quantity. So like people bought more than one and it was higher dollar. So the dollar average was higher. I'll give it that, but the amount, total amount was lower. I want to say Amazon was about 20 plus orders and then all the rest was on Walmart. Walmart been pretty good, but all of my orders on those sites have been slowing down. And I don't think it's mostly the site. It's because a lot of my higher sell-through items already sold out on both sites, which is fine. A lot of times I'll just kind of let that ride and I know that my sales will slow down and that my dollar amount will go down because I sold out my higher dollar amount item, my higher sell-through items, and now I'm trying to sell through some, because for whatever reason, and I know it's like this on eBay and it's even like this on Walmart and Amazon, when you sell out a lot of times your lower sell-through items won't sell until you sell out the items that are in demand, in higher demand. And it's the same way on Walmart and Amazon, man. When I sell out my higher sell-through items, then the items that have been sitting, all of a sudden those start to sell. And so sometimes, like strategically, I let that stuff sell out and then I'll sit and wait before usually I'll have something ordered, but before I put it up, I'll try to let some of those other things start trickling out a little bit. And yeah, it'll be less money and less sales, but I know that. So I know the reason for that. So like, I'm okay with that. And then once I go through some of that stuff, I'll start listing more stuff. Like I said, I got all this stuff over here. A lot of this stuff is actually going to be on eBay. I've seen some listings on Walmart and Amazon. I do have some of it up. Amazon, I don't know. I might have to create some listings. There's a lot of generic listings. They won't let me get on those ones. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I might see if I can make some. But like I said, I had some more stuff coming and I still got 2 separate lots of electronics that I got to get through. So I think I'm going to slow down buying it after these next items come in, probably for about a month. Usually I buy once a month. But anyway, orders. I'm going to get to these orders. I'm going to pull them and I'll just kind of like speed through this part. If there's any reason to stop, I'll stop. Maybe I'll show a couple of the items, but we'll see. All right, so I'm gonna start pulling these orders. I'm gonna start with Walmart and then go through there, and then because it's not as many, I can probably get away with like lining them all out here and make it easier on myself. So let me get started with that. I forgot to say, I do customer service first before shipping, okay? But I already checked that. There was nothing. I checked that at home, actually. I usually check that when I get up in the morning at home and see if there's anything that I need to check on, any questions that need to be answered. I also, when I come in, I got 2 things. I got this right here, my to-do list, but this is a label that I canceled on Amazon. I keep this because I need to follow up and make sure I get my money back for canceling that label. I also, here, let's look at this. I also got that, which isn't much of nothing. It's just another thing, just so I can have something in front of my face. One thing I learned, especially when managing in restaurants, when you have a lot going on and you have a lot to manage, it doesn't hurt to have multiple reminders for things that you have to do. So for instance, I know you've seen like this post-it notes, and those aren't reminders. That would be a lot. Those are just tags that I use when I'm tagging stuff when it's cross-posted, just to remind myself that it's cross-posted. But I got the to-do list, and then I got this right in my line of sight, because sometimes I will totally forget about the clipboard. Totally forget about it, man, for days. And so when this is here, like I'm already standing here. So when I look up, I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to remember to do that, right? And that's what I learned in restaurants. I would do post-its. I would do the to-do list. Hell, I would even set reminders on my phone, like just multiple things. And people would think like I got this great memory. Was like, no, I just kind of keep reminding myself because I don't got a great memory, man. Because like, it ain't that you don't have a great memory. It's just like when you have so much going on, you can literally be thinking about something 1 minute and then the next totally forget about it because you got a whole new sequence of events happening, right? Whole new sequence of events. And then it just snowball, and then you ain't getting done the things that you actually need to get done. So those are the things I do first. Get up in the morning, I'll check, see if there's any customer service issues. I did have a couple things on Walmart, somebody not receiving something, so we'll see about that. I already messaged them. I checked my list. There ain't nothing super important. Oh, there is one. So I got on this, follow up with Amazon return for the item, right? So look, somebody put in, well, a buyer was refunded about $130 for an order, right? I had these items. I get these items intermittently from another guy who has a discount store, and the listing is usually dead, so nobody has it. It's a discontinued item, so every time I get on it, it's just me, and the items sell out. So this Amazon refunded this buyer $130 because they say the item couldn't be delivered. So I'm like, what the, I go look, I pull it up. This buyer has purchased these items 5 separate times. 5 separate times, so it's the same address. Two of the times the items look like they've been delivered to that address. So all of a sudden these ain't delivered. Then there's 2 more purchases afterward, which I can't tell if those been sent out by Amazon yet or not. So then I put in for reimbursement. Of course, Amazon's like, well, now I gotta wait 60 days to see if it returns back into my inventory, so on and so forth. But I feel like there's this, and I even said this in my message, I feel like there's something fishy going on here. This buyer purchased this item 5 times, and each time it was multi-quantities, like 5 or more of them. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why all of a sudden they can't be delivered to an address. They've been delivered to on multiple occasions. So what I do is, in my email account that I get my Amazon emails at, I have a folder that's called refund follow-ups. And so certain refunds that's initiated, I'll send to that folder so I know to follow up on them, whether it's I have to file a safety claim if I fulfilled it, because if you merchant fulfill and there's an issue with an item, a buyer return or anything like that, you can file a safety claim. Sometimes they'll give you your money back, sometimes they won't, depends on the circumstances. But if it's fulfilled by Amazon, it's a separate process, right? But either way, I sent that to that folder, and then I keep that reminder there so I know, and now I gotta wait, because like something like that, 60 days, I'm going to forget about it. And that's what they want. But nah, we ain't forgetting. That's $130, man. I need that back. Plus, I need to see what happened to those other 2 orders too. So I'm gonna be tracking this. I got my reminder up, and for y'all out there, man, look, find a way that works for you to remind yourself to follow up on certain things. Don't just let stuff slide. When sometimes when you cancel a label, or you got something going on eBay and they say they're gonna get back to you, or something going on Amazon, make a note of it. Don't just make a note, put something up so that you can follow up, hold them accountable, especially when it comes to your money. They're not getting away with not giving me my money back. Either that stuff is going to be returned to my inventory and I'm going to be able to get it back, or I'm going to get my money back. Even if it's 60 days from now, I'm going to follow up on that. So I just wanted to bring that up, but let's get started shipping. All right, so I got most of the items pulled now. I go through Walmart and I just kind of pull those items. Sales value is pretty up there on a lot of them. So I think my total sales day for yesterday, it was slow yesterday going into today. So I think I was at like 450-ish. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, 439 total. That's between Walmart, eBay, and Amazon. All right, so I mean, it ain't super great, but for some reason, it seems to be in line with how most of this month is going. For some reason, this month overall seems a little slower than last month. It could be just me, but still, I mean, I'm ahead of last quarter. So I look at the bigger picture, right? All right, now I do all my Walmart shipping through Pirate Ship. I think there's a couple places that integrate with Walmart, but you have to pay to use them. So like ShipStation and all of them, man, they want like, if you shipping, they go by like how many items you ship in a month. I would be paying like $100+ a month extra just to ship through those platforms. And yeah, it may be faster, but like, I ain't doing that. Walmart, initially they didn't have it to where you could purchase shipping through them. Now you can. It's not always cheaper. And the only benefit they really say that I know of is like, if the item doesn't arrive within the window, it won't count against your metrics. But I mean, I just extended that. Even though I ship out next day, everything, I just extended that and there's no issues. It does affect the buy box though. If somebody has shorter shipping times, of course, they'll get the buy box over you most of the time, unless you really lower your price lower than theirs. But I ain't doing all that, man. And then with Walmart, their shipping is expensive. Anything that's under a pound is about 10 cents more than Pirate Ship. And I know that don't sound like a lot, but you know, you add 1,000 items for every 1,000 items, you know, you start getting up there. So I just do it all through Pirate Ship. It's not that slow. Copy and paste the address, boom, copy and paste the tracking number, and then just do it that way. Of course, Amazon shipping is through Amazon, and eBay shipping, if it's under a pound, it's through eBay. I don't ship nothing over a pound through eBay. I do it through Pirate Ship because it's always cheaper. So.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
I want to show you all something on Pirate Ship real quick that you can do to just smaller steps to kind of make your shipping faster. So when I use the hotkeys, right? So Control C, Control V. So Control C is for copy, Control V is for paste. So I don't use the mouse because Control C and V is just faster because I can keep my fingers right on them. Control C. But on Pirate Ship, now this is going to be an address that I just made up, guys. It's nobody address. So on Pirate Ship, right? Let's say I go to single. You can leave it just like that. If I hit Control V, it automatically will put the address and stuff in there. And again, this is a made up address, but you see that? So let's do it again. I'm on this screen. If I would have already used Control C to copy my address from Walmart, I don't have to put the things manually in each field, which is what I used to do when I first started this. All you got to do is hit Control V right over that. You ain't even got to put the cursor in nothing or nothing. Just hit Control V on that page, and it'll automatically paste that address in there and fill it in for you, and you can just go from there. Now when you print the label, so if I go to I don't want to go to no labels because it's going to show the address, but when you go to print the label, just hit enter when a label pop up instead of moving your mouse around trying to click. So you want to eliminate clicks and things like that. So I just kind of do that. I'll hit purchase label, print label, and then hit the enter key right before the screen even pops up and it's printing out my label. So that's just a little tip.
Hey. Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, oh. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, oh. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it, how you gonna move for it, what you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it, how you gonna move for it, what you gonna be?
So I'm getting close to being done with the Walmart orders. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off for a minute while I do Amazon orders, because I don't want any of those orders being seen. I got some pretty good items that sell for pretty good money. Can't afford for you price tankers to come putting some salt in the game. All right, so I'm going to go off. I'm going to do those orders, and I'll come back on after those are already packaged up and gone. I can't afford to put those on camera. So I'll do that, and then I'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, so Amazon orders are packed and out the way. All that's left is eBay and Walmart. While I'm doing that, I am going to try to talk a little bit and go through that. So one thing I want to say is this. Walmart, right? So while I was printing those labels and everything, listen, people complain about eBay's glitches and stuff, but one thing, I think the worst aspect of selling on Walmart is the back office. The back office sucks. I mean, sucks, man. Like, almost every action, there's a server error. So you get the spinning wheel, wheel of death, and it'll just spin and spin and spin and spin. Boom, server error. And you gotta refresh. And then if you're lucky, you can go finish your action and complete it. But it is hard to complete a series of actions without at least one of those errors happening. And what I noticed lately, and only because I've been shipping late on Sunday nights, after 9, dude, like, it's so annoying. So after 9 o'clock, for whatever reason, and this has been, and I only been doing this on Sunday, so I can't say whether or not this is every day after a certain time in the day, but every Sunday for like the last 3 or 4 weeks, once 9 o'clock hits, almost every action has a spinning wheel of death server error. Like it took me so long to ship items on these Sunday nights after 9 o'clock hit, like to the point where I'm just like, God darn it, like ready to just stop, but I had to try to get as much as I can done because I didn't want to have to deal with it in the morning. And so I don't know what they got going. Look, this is the word. If it wasn't for the amount of sales that I get, I really wouldn't deal with it. But for whatever, and then you have to manually update all of your inventory. So it used to be, let's say if I got 10 of a certain item. When I first started selling on here, if I had 10 of a certain item, it wouldn't update at all. So let's say 5 sold. Well, the system is still showing, no. Let's say I got 10 of a certain item. Let's say all 10 sold. Well, the system is still showing that I have 10 available. So that I would oversell. So when I first started, I was overselling so much, man. And I was like, what the hell is this, right? Because I'm thinking like it automatically updates the inventory and all of this. Nah. And so I was having to order from other platforms, get the items, send them in. Sometimes, of course, if I have like a lot of a certain item though, I don't ever put in how many I got. And that's for multiple reasons. But one of the reasons is because other sellers, they be doing shady stuff. So if I got 20, 30, 40, 50 of a certain item, I might put in 7, 8, 9 at a time, 10 at the most at a time. So if another seller try to be on some shady stuff, they'll like buy you out, cancel the order, or buy you out, have it returned, all types of crazy stuff. So then as my quantities go down from that 8 or whatever, I'll add a few more back in. That's kind of how I do it. And that's across all platforms. I never put in like a huge amount most of the time. And that's why. But yeah, that was the issue I was having initially. But then they made it to where, okay, your inventory will update. So like now if I got 10 and I sell 5, it'll update to me having 5 left available for sale. So I haven't had that overselling problem, but to update it to only having 5 left, you have to go in and manually do it. And the ways they get you to do it, you can either use a spreadsheet, which is just ridiculously stupid, right? I don't even use it. Or you can update it in the back office and you can search by SKU, item ID, item name, G10, or UPC. Fastest way for me to, and it still don't always come up. It still don't always come up, but most of the time it does. But it still won't always come up. And then you got to scroll through. It's just this back office on Walmart. It sucks, man. It really sucks. But what I do is I use the UPC, and most of the times it'll come up that way. And for whatever doesn't, then I'll just kind of do a name search. And I just scan in the UPC, update the quantities. If I know I got a bunch, I don't do it every time the items sell. If I know I got a lot, I'll just kind of wait after a few times and then go in and update it. But even while I was doing that, spinning wheel of death, man, server errors. Trust me when I tell you, it's way worse than eBay. Way worse, man. And it's frustrating. But for instance, like today, I literally had 10 times the sales that I did on eBay. So what you gonna do? Kind of got to take the good with the bad, right? But anyway, having said that, I wanted to talk about some of these eBay issues. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Josh Galt put up a post that showed an article about eBay and vector images and, you know, doing this new database thing and stuff like that. Now, it's a very technical document, very technical, okay? I went and looked at a couple videos about it. Oh, shoot. Wrong thing. I went and looked at a couple videos. And the technology itself is not really new. eBay doing it is new. You know, basically, it's a way to have a faster, more efficient way of searching and database and recalling information. Look, I'm not even going to act like I am well versed in this stuff, so I'm not going to try to explain it because I'm probably going to be wrong. But the gist of it is, it's a faster, more efficient type of way to search and database, and where you match not only when somebody's searching, not only just like a title search or a name search, but it can match like images and things like that and group things together. And it can also match according to a buyer's purchase history, things like that. The way it sounds, and if you should definitely go do some research on it, because we may have to know these things going forward. For how we construct listings on eBay. This might be really important, because if they're changing the way that they group these items in searches, this is definitely going to have an effect on how you build your listings, right? But if eBay is going to do this, I think it might be better as far as searches, because if I'm matching with not just what a buyer search for by title, but if I'm matching similar items that have similar images as well, and items that the buyer has showed interest in before, you might actually get more, you might actually have more of a chance of getting your item in front of a buyer that way. So I don't know, and I don't know if that's what's causing the issues. Could be, you know, because while they're working on it, they might have to shut certain servers down and do certain things, and you know how that goes. So that could be a thing. But the one thing that I was thinking, even just in my last video I made, man, this video got a lot of views, dude. That's crazy. I was looking at how many views did that video get. So I'm pretty sure I got a few hundred new subs, and this video got 8.4K views. That's the most, well, that ain't the most views I've ever had, because I got some videos from my vending that got more than that. But as far as reselling content go, by far the most views that I've ever had on a video. So YouTube was looking out for the cookout on that one. But on that video, there was just a lot of comments. And you know what I was thinking? Because people was commenting about eBay being bad and quitting or changing up. And you know what I was thinking though, man? I'm like, only thing I could kind of hear I can hear people's like pain and frustration, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, what is really the source of the pain and frustration? Is it eBay or is it something else? And I've come to some conclusion that it ain't just about eBay. I think people are hurting in a way that it is transcend any of these issues. I think the problem though is that people are dependent on eBay and it's not producing like it may have once was for them. And maybe that might be due to what they're doing or not doing, and maybe not. I think there's probably a little of both going on there, right? We can do better, but eBay can definitely do better. And so all I could think was like, what I really hear, they say a wise man hears one word but understands two. And all I can really hear is just people, they don't know what to do, right? Gases cost more, food costs more, everything costs more. People, most of them ain't necessarily making more money. So things are going up. People are trying to figure out, credit card debt is at an all-time high, over $1 trillion, I think, in credit card debt. Student loans are coming due. So people strapped for cash. They're trying to figure out how to feed their families. And then you have issues like this on eBay. And so I think a good part of that is people, maybe some are desperate, so I don't want to necessarily say desperation, maybe some, but I feel like there's a sense of desperation, not so much because of eBay, but because people are trying to figure out how in the hell they're going to feed their families and pay their bills. And then just the problems with eBay is just adding to that, and making people a little more frustrated and trying to like figure out what to do. And we can sit back and say, well, you got to pivot and you got to do this and that. And that's all well and good. But the truth of the matter is, it's really not that easy. It's easier said than done, as they say, right? Easier said than done. Now, we do have to do what we got to do for the survival of our business. And even if, it's a hard thing to do or it's take you outside of your comfort zone, you got to kind of just figure out what to do next. Hell, and for some people, that just may mean working. Look, don't force something that ain't working for you. If you having a hard time selling online, whether that's eBay or any other platform, if it just ain't working, you struggling with your bills, don't put yourself in a bind. You don't owe this to nobody to make it work. If it ain't working, you got to do what's most important for you and your family, man. And I'm gonna just tell y'all that now, because like listening to some of these comments, man, I could feel the pain in some people's words. Like if words had a voice, that's kind of what I felt coming through. And I'm just like, man, you don't owe nobody nothing. Only thing you owe it to yourself and to your family to do whatever is necessary to make sure that y'all good. You know what I mean? If eBay ain't working out, Poshmark, if reselling in general is not working out for you like you thought it would or like it once was, do what you got to do, man. Get you a job. Do what you got to do. Ain't no shame in none of that. Maybe come back later. You know what I mean? Or maybe cut down your profile online, work, get things settled, get things in order, and then, focus back on your reselling. But at the end of the day, you got to do what's necessary to make sure that you and your family is in a good place. And because this ain't getting no easier. You got these strikes coming up. You got the writer's strike. You got the UPS thing just passed, but that's going to have an effect on us eventually because they getting paid a lot of money. I don't know if y'all know, but part of that deal, man, UPS workers going to be making over time over $100,000 a year. You think that ain't about to come back to the consumer? Yeah, okay. And then you got the UAW. They want to go on strike. What you think is going to happen with that? So, I mean, things ain't going to get a lot better overall as far as the economy goes. And it's going to have a trickle-down effect, guys. So, I appreciate all the new subs, all of y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you watching. I ask that you continue to watch and support the channel. Watch the videos, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. If there's anything you need, let me know. If there's any questions you got, you can just ask. But don't be afraid to do what you feel like you got to do for you and yours, man. You don't owe it to nobody to try to force something that ain't working. In fact, that's only going to make things worse for you. It's only going to make things worse for you. Having said that, though, there are ways to make this work, okay? And it just might require you to think outside the box. Like I was saying earlier, I'm pretty 100% sure I'm going to start this niche business, which is dog supplies. And I am going to start researching the types of products I want to sell. I'm going to start testing out products. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to document it and I'll keep you guys updated. And I'm not going to rush it. Definitely not going to rush it at all. And I'll keep you guys updated, but I'm definitely going into the dog area. I want to start that. I think that's lucrative. There's a lot of money in it. People love their pets. A lot of the products in it you have to buy over and over again so you can get replenishables. And just in a few products that I've been selling, I've actually seen the sell-through rates are pretty high. So if I can find the right products at the right price, I think I can make this work. There's a few ways that I can go about it. I don't necessarily want to do it as like an Amazon thing where I'm doing private label. What I think I want to do is I want to have my own website. I'll do some social media marketing. I'll use influencers, and I might use eBay and or Walmart. I might not. I don't know yet. I got to figure that part out. I really got to figure out how I want to sell these. I know for sure that I want to have my own website because a lot of the items that I was looking at are profitable, but only if I have my own website would it be worth it. You know, if I put them up on one of these other platforms, those fees and stuff is going to eat way too much into my profits. But then that means I got to like drive traffic. So there's some issues. There's some things I got to think through. So I'm going to kind of write this business plan out and kind of have a map of how I want to do it. Look at some of the products. What I'll do is probably though test those products by selling them online or seeing what the demand is on like eBay or Amazon, Walmart, whatever. I kind of use those as a gauge for what types of products do well and then probably get some similar. Now, if I can find something that's, you know, at low enough cost and I can make enough profit selling it on one of those platforms, I will. But I'm not looking to do private label on Amazon for sure. I may do something on Walmart. It's a little bit more easier of a process than doing all of that through Amazon and getting brand registered and so on and so forth. But, and then eBay, we already know eBay is eBay, right? But depending on the product on eBay, the China sellers, man, will make it, I don't know, but we'll see. I'm gonna stay away from those types of items, but that's kind of where I'm looking at. I don't know what you guys are looking at as far as what you're going to do with your business, but you know, we gotta figure it out. We gotta figure it out. This is part of what we do. You know, we gotta figure it out, guys. Now, back to what I'm doing. I'm gonna get these items packaged up, get everything to the post office, come back, restock whatever needs to be restocked, start cleaning. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, and then we'll go to the post office. All right, so now that I am done with everything as far as packing it up and all that, I'm gonna print out these scan sheets. I use scan sheets. I don't have them scanning individuals. I've been doing it for years. Haven't had any issues. I know some people say they don't because of issues. I don't know what they're talking about. I've used them probably the last 3 years or so. Every once in a blue, something might not get scanned, but I've never had any trouble. So I'm gonna print the scan forms and take all of this stuff to the post office. Then I'm going to get something to eat because it's almost lunchtime, and this will be my first meal of the day. Also, so my plan for today is this. So this is kind of like how I get everything started for the day. I get up, I'll check my messages, see if there's anything I need to address. Come here, maybe I'll eat something or not. I'll get started shipping, get everything shipped out. Go to the post office or whatever. If I got stuff for UPS, I usually do that later when I go to the gym because UPS is like a little bit down the street from my gym. So I'll drop all that off at the same time. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to come back. I got a lot of eBay listings already drafted and scheduled. I got about 24 scheduled to go out between now And let's see. Between now and it looks like I got them going until the 25th. What's that, next Wednesday or something? Let me see. Monday. Thought I had them out further than that. Alright, so yeah. So I got some listings scheduled from now until Monday. I actually want to get a little further ahead than that. So I'm probably going to, between today and tomorrow, I'm going to work on doing some more drafts and schedule them out. I want to get all the way up until next Friday. Then today, I'm going to come back. Besides the listing part, the drafts, if I get to that today, I'm not going to worry about it. So my task list is to come back, restock. I got to restock some priority mailboxes, envelopes and stuff over here. You can see are pretty much non-existent in there. So I do got stuff that I ordered. I'm gonna fill that up, fill this up, and get that done. Right? That'll be the first step. As soon as I get back, I'm gonna clean up a little bit. I gotta sweep this floor, wipe some stuff off, get that out the way. Then any other big trash that I need to get rid of while the garbage can is empty, dump that out. I'm gonna organize this stuff the way it needs to be organized, move it all around. I'm gonna get these candles and stuff put up, get these tables cleared off, and I'm gonna kind of go from there. I got, like I said, I got the stuff coming in. I got to get these. I got like 4 or 5 boxes at home of electronics I got to bring in here. So I got to make room, organize everything. So that's today. Today is the get rid of the trash, organize everything, get everything put up that needs to be put up day. I'm not going to be too concerned about starting those eBay drafts yet. That'll be, if I get to it today, fine. If not, I'll do it tomorrow. So I'm going to work on that. That'll probably take me till 3, 4 or so. And I got to pick up my boys from practice later. That won't be until around 7. I'll go to the gym around 4. Then that'll be kind of in my day. I'll probably finish up here today around 4. Sometimes after I go pick up the boys from practice, their practice is Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. My day is Tuesday and Thursday. Sometimes I'll come back here if I got a lot to do. Just depends. I do got a lot to do. Some of this stuff is actually going to be put up on Marketplace too. Some of it I keep, especially the household stuff that I know that we use. But that's kind of like how my day is going today. That is pretty much the format every day for the most part. Pretty much the same format with some changes and variations here and there. So that's kind of how it goes, man. If you guys got any, I'm going to end this right here, but that's kind of what I'm going to do afterward. If you guys got any questions, let me know. Perhaps I'll do more videos like this. Look, my business is a pretty boring business. And that's the way I like it. I feel like too much change is not good. And I don't mean change in the sense of changing some things to either improve efficiencies or to adapt to, you know, whatever the environment is at the time. But I mean, like, doing something different every day is not good for your business. It's not good for you. To know what I got to do on a daily basis, to come in and it's step 1, step 2, step 3, maybe there's some different things that change up here and there, but to know that this is the same thing every day, this is how it's going to be, that's how you need to run it. If you're only doing this part-time and you got your job going and you just trying to make a few extra bucks, then, you know, having something different to do all the time, that won't be as much of a thing. You know, it won't be as much of an issue. But when I got to manage all of this stuff, like you see, I got all of this stuff, man. I got inventory, I got stuff, I got supplies, I got a lot going on. What I don't need is a bunch of different things happening on a daily basis, right? Everything has to be systemized. Everything has to have a place, and I have to have a plan for it, and it has to be recurring. It has to be recurring. It can't be like, oh, today I did this, but tomorrow I'm gonna do that, and today is this, and tomorrow is that, and I got this I'm gonna sell, and that I'm gonna do. This is pretty much, it might look like a lot, but it's all part of the same system of things, and I already know what I gotta do and how I'm gonna do it, and it's going to be like that pretty much every day. And if I feel like if you, regardless of what you're selling, if you're trying to run this as a business, you want to make it as boring as possible. You want your systems to be efficient. You want your processes to be efficient. You want everything to pretty much be the same so that you know exactly what you got to do, exactly where you put in stuff, exactly how the flow goes, whatever your workflow is, because too much variance can cause issues. And so I try to avoid unnecessary variances that can lead to confusion and mistakes and things like that. So when I say boring, that's what I mean. It's the same old thing. I got items that, I'm $1 or $2 into that sell for, like, for instance, I got bags of lipsticks over there, like Ziploc bags, big bags, that I'm only like $2 into, that's selling for $17 to $20 something on Walmart and Amazon, right? I got stuff like that. I'm not about to show you which ones they are, but I got stuff like that. But then I got stuff that's only selling for $5, $6, $7, right? So it all kind of evens out, and at the end of the day, I'm making more than I'm not, of course. But that's kind of like, I guess I don't have the $2 yard sale thing that I just sold for $150 on eBay, and it's this rare item. Like, I'm not interested in that personally, as far as like having that as my business, because I'm trying to run a sustainable business. And so for me, trying to do that, chase down bolos, not that I don't be on the lookout for bolos and things like, but that's not what's going to get me to where I'm going. What's going to get me to where I'm going is having a set plan, set schedule, knowing exactly what I got to do, how I got to do it, having a place for everything, and rinse and repeat. This is what I do. In, out, workflow is the same, rinse and repeat. Whatever I do has to fit within that model. Now, if there's things I need to change up, fine. Like, I'm trying to increase my average sale price. I'm probably going to be looking at, besides the pet thing, bringing in small appliances. But as of right now, I would have a space issue. So I have to kind of think of that before I go doing it. But that's something I want to do. But then I have to make sure I have a process for that. Where are these things going to go? How am I going to ship these things out? Am I going to be ready? Because it's going to be disruptive. If I bring all that in right now today, it's going to be disruptive. I'm not going to have a place to put it. I'm going to have even more stuff all over the place. I don't really have boxes for it. It would just be a headache. It would be a headache. It will push me back so far. And so I've seen some nice little pallets and things like that on B stock at Target. I want to try them out, but I got some things I need to plan for ahead of time before I go doing that. But I'm not looking for exciting. I really ain't. I'm looking for sustainable. I'm looking for boring. This is the process. This is the steps. But guess what? I'm increasing my profits month over month, year over year, and that's what I want. And if that's boring, then that's fine. I don't need to be looking for like the golf club that I paid $3 for that sold for $150. I don't really care about that. But if you're doing this part-time and you're just doing it for the excitement and you're doing it just to make a few dollars, or you like treasure hunting, then that's fine. That is perfectly fine. But if you really want to make this something serious, then I think you're going to have to kind of get away from that. If you come across those things, cool. But I really wouldn't be looking to make that the staple of my business, if that makes sense. All right. But anyway, having said that, I'm going to end this video, man. Give me a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And just let me know your thoughts about what your day is like. And if you got any questions, just ask them below, and I'll make sure I try to answer any or respond to any comments or questions as long as I see them. All right. So y'all have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all later this week.